Members of the company, this is your Places call. Places, please. Places for the top of the podcast. Places, please.
Get ready for a behind-the-scenes look at the glitz and not-so-glam of Broadway, education, and everyday life with Uncommon Sense. Join hosts Christopher Smith and Sharna Lopez as they bring you the best stories and shenanigans that seemingly prove how elusive common sense can really be. So take a little time for yourself to hang out with the dynamic duo Charnopher. And no leaving early, because you might just miss that 11 o'clock number.
Stand by music. Music, go.
Uncommon sense, the 11 o'clock number. And we are Charnopher.
You can't die. We
I
just
know.
started. We just started the episode.
Well, I tried to leave the episode before I even got started too. Instead of recording, I tried to hit the leave button. Oh well.
Man, tough crowd. You really don't want to be on here any longer than you have to be with me.
I know. Bye.
Hadn't even started.
I know. Oh gosh. So
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Guess what? Tomorrow is Sharna. But when people are listening to this episode, if they listen to it when it drops, guess what tomorrow is?
What?
Halloween.
Oh, Halloween. I was like, what? Halloween. I know. Dee. We're gonna talk about that movie at some point today in our episode.
Are we? Great.
Sure.
I'm excited about that.
We have to, because I have some stories.
Great.
So guess, Charno fans, what our topic might be on this episode. I think it's 4th of July. What do you think, Christopher?
It's like summer and the 4th of July.
Well, hey, it is 90 degrees in October.
Line?
So
What is that line that Jennifer Coolidge says? I don't know.
it's like, oh shoot, I don't know either. If Parker were here, he'd know it. Darn it.
Yeah.
I'll look it up. Our topic today is Halloween, and it's fitting because yes, Halloween is tomorrow. And it's funny, we kind of just were like, we should talk about Halloween. And then when I was prepping for our episode, I prepped.
I'm excited.
There's a lot to discuss, actually.
Yeah.
A lot. I think, I don't know.
We'll find out.
I think first and leave. We're done.
Bye.
And I'm over it. I guess the first question is, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, I don't care about Halloween, we could skip it. 10 being, I'm a freak and I decorate like a crazy person and I have 9 costume choices. Where are you on the Halloween scale?
Okay, so there's this I'm going to try to go through the scale of my whole family. Are you ready? So Joy's probably at like
We've got a family scale.
a family scale. Joy's probably at like a 1
Buckle in,
or
friends.
a 2.
Buckle in. We got. Wait, she's a 1 or 2?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, dang. Okay.
I'm at like a 5 or 6. I'm not a crazy Halloween person. I think my children are currently at a 25. They're like, I want to go see all the things. I want to like eat all the candy. We like the people on our street decorate, like some of them decorate like crazy people. And like there's a house on the end that is the crazy clown house. And it's an interesting thing because, and Joy and I have talked about this, because it's super scary. Like it's meant to be like all crazy scary and bloody stuff everywhere and knives and scary things. But the kids don't see it that way. And I'm like, it's such an interesting thing to realize how much our fears are just put on by society. It's like, it's just fun for them.
Exactly, right? So, the house is decorated. How fun.
Yeah.
We have a street in our neighborhood that they go, I mean, I think they must have 8 storage units. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Every holiday, their entire front of their houses. I mean, like every little inch is decorated. And it's the same thing. Like there are a couple that are really scary. Like they have, there's one house that has all the life size, like scary guys, like Mike Myers, Jason, like full size. It looks like they're standing in their front yard. And I'm even scared as I come around and Ruby's like, let's go see the house with the guy and the knife. And I'm like, oh,
What?
Okay. I think it's different because like you're standing there, you're outside, you're not in a haunted house. Like Ruby can't, no way could she do a haunted house where you're like inside and people are scaring you.
Yeah.
But I think because it's like a decoration of sorts, it's a different feeling. So
That
your
makes
kids are on a
sense.
25.
Yeah.
Should I rate my family's Halloween 1 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay, for me. So we're kind of similar. I'd say when I met Jerry was at a 0 for Halloween. Now I feel like he has graduated. He will play our reindeer games. He's graduated to like a 3
Okay.
or even a 4.
Okay.
He will decorate outside. He will put up the decorations with the kids and all like the lawn decorations that we have, which is not that many. He will dress up. He will do a couple's costume or a family costume. Like a few years ago we did, I think one of our best ones was the Ninja Turtles. And like
I
the
love
kids were
the
the
Ninja
turtles.
Turtles.
I was April O'Neil. He was Casey Jones. Like he'll get into it. One year, one of our very first Halloweens together, he and I were Lucy and Ricky. That was my favorite. I got to find that picture.
Yes.
I could put it on the Instagram.
That's right.
Back when Jerry had hair, Ricky hair. So I'd give him like 2 or 3. I will say for most of my life, I've probably been at like an 8 for Halloween. I think as I get older, I'm like a 7. I'm like a 6 because I enjoy it, but I can't, and this is going to lead me to one of my topics. It's the amount of things. Like I love decorating. I cannot and will not purchase a storage unit to host my holiday decorations.
No.
So for me, it's like I can only fit so much. So I feel like, but I'll do a good costume. I'll get dressed up. I mean, last year I had 3 different full on costumes, like for 3 different events that I was doing. Right. So I'm into it. With the kids, and I know your kids are younger than mine, it tapers off. So like Sebastian, oh my gosh, we used to have 9 costume options. I want to be this. No, I want to be that. Now he's like, I mean, whatever. I'll just put on my baseball jersey. I'll be a baseball player. Like, I think when you start to hit a certain age, they're like, I'll just give me a scary mask. Find me a scary mask, you know?
Yeah.
Ruby's still into it, which is fun. So I'd say Ruby's like a 9 or a 10. And
Okay.
Sebastian's probably like his dad, like a 3 or 4. But he loves trick-or-treating and he'll still go trick-or-treating. And he's really, and they love passing out the candy. My kids like staying at the house and passing out the candy.
Not me.
But can that be our topic number 1 though?
What? Trick-or-treating?
We can start with trick-or-treating and then I want to talk about decorations. But we can start with trick-or-treating. So you don't like passing out the candy?
No. I like to go around and get the candy. I don't necessarily like to eat all the
So
candy.
then do you guys have somebody stay at your house and pass it out? Are you the house that like goes dark?
We are a combination, depends on the year. Now that Joy's parents live in the area, the last couple of years, they have stayed at the house and given candy. Otherwise, we just go dark for a while we go trick-or-treating.
Ours is similar. We'll put a sign up. So our neighborhood, and I think I've told you this before, our neighborhood is like, it has to be in the top 5, like destination Halloween locations. they literally, and I'm not joking, they bus people in, like buses drop kids off at the front of our neighborhood. So, I mean, we spend so much money on candy every year, but it's actually probably my favorite part of Halloween, and it's a known thing in our neighborhood. So they don't go to the door. You go down and you set up at the end of your driveway.
That's what we do in our street too.
So when we were younger, you used to always go all the way up to the door, knock, 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 and you'd wait, you know. Now it's like a big block party, and our neighbors are really cool. And so like everyone's kind of just like out in the streets, everyone decorates. And so we'll pass out candy for like an hour, and then we'll either leave someone behind or we'll put a sign up like out trick-or-treating back in an hour. And then the kids will the kids will go. I mean, my kids are almost to the age that they can go trick-or-treating by themselves. Like
Yeah.
I would be fine with, like, if Sebastian and Ruby wanted to go together. Like I'd let Sebastian's friends, he and his friends, go on their own. But it's fun. Like it's like a thing in our neighborhood.
Mhm.
And so it's fun to like go and walk, and we have like a big loop in our neighborhood, and the kids love trick-or-treating. And then they'll come back and they will sit and pass out candy. I mean, we get like just droves and droves of people constantly. And
Yeah.
then finally we usually run out of candy, and we're like, dudes, sorry, don't bring another bus here because
Right.
we don't have any more candy, man. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of
And
similar.
Jerry likes it. Like he's gotten into it over the years too. It's fun.
Nice. That's kind of similar to our street. It's, well, you know our street, but it's super long, and then there's the street right up, so we can make a huge loop and get like buckets of candy, buckets of it.
Yeah. And okay,
Um,
so here up on the trick-or-treating theme
Mhm.
topic, how much candy do you give out, or how much candy do you expect to get when you go to a house? Like what is your
I kind of
preferred
so
candy
we're,
ratio?
We're interesting because we don't just necessarily do candy. Joy likes to do other things like little toys or glow necklaces, because she's like, everybody does candy and they don't need any more candy. So
Yeah.
so anyway, so we do, but the long and short of it is my expected thing is one piece, whatever it is. If it's like super tiny, maybe two. Like if you just had a bowl of Starburst, like 2 Starburst, not just 1 Starburst, or 2 or 3 Starburst. But like if it's a big old Snickers bar, you get one, even if it's the fun size.
Well,
One.
I find it interesting because like we will pass out one just because of how many trick-or-treaters we get. And it's interesting when some kids are like, I don't know, I get that like younger kids, they're kind of learning, they learn their manners, you know, in daily life, and they, you know, but when the parents are like standing out in the street and they let the little kids come up and the kids try and like grab 4 or 5 pieces, I have no problem being
handfuls,
like, oh, we just do
handfuls.
1 piece here. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm like, I know with my kids, when they were little, we would walk together and I would walk up with them to make sure, first of all, they were saying trick or treat. Jerry does not give kids candy unless they say trick or treat. Now, some
100%.
kids, if they're nervous or like if they're shy, but like, you know, to me, it's also
there's no
like
exceptions.
Well, and I think this is really funny. Like it's trick or treating, but it's also like a social thing for kids to be able to like go up to, not a stranger, but somebody maybe they don't know very well and be like, trick or treat, happy Halloween, like kind of that, you know, connection. Now, I know some kids with different disabilities or whatnot might not feel comfortable doing that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And usually there's something that they wear. If that they either wear a color, shoot, I'll have to look it back up. Last year I got like a reminder. But for the most part, and it's usually the preteens and tweens that Jerry is like, hey, if you're going to trick or treat, first of all, you should be in a costume. And second of all, say trick or treat and say thank you. Like, I'm here to have a great time, but like these
Don't be
teenagers that just
rude.
run around, you know. But one candy, or if someone gives you the handful, awesome. But like, don't expect more than that. We had in my neighborhood growing up, we had a house that would give away toothbrushes every year that we were like, really? That's super cliche. We don't need your toothbrush. But we did have a house that did like erasers and like school supplies. And I remember thinking that was really cool. Like we'd always want to go to that house to get like whatever the treat or the toy was, you know? And then what about decorations though? We got to talk about decorations.
Okay, let's go to decorations. But before we do, how much candy do you keep? Like, what do you do with all of your candy? Do you literally eat all of your candy?
No.
Okay.
So, well, a couple things. I let the kids, there's some candy they don't like. So when we get back that night or the next day, I will have them sort their candy. Candy they like, candy they don't like. So that already takes out some of it, right? Then I will look at how big that pile is, and I'll be like, awesome, you can keep half of that, or you can keep, you know, this much, make your pile this many. and they never really fight me because it's usually a lot of candy. And then I will take the remaining candy either to work and have, students or teachers partake there, or the dentist in our neighborhood, they will take your candy and they will give you what did they give them last year? I don't remember. You can turn it into the dentist.
But then what do the dentists do with it? That's my question.
I
Do
don't
they
know.
burn it?
And look, I love candy. My kids have sweet tooths. And I don't mind like the little snack size candies. I actually like that because it's a very small amount. Like, okay, if you have a little mini bag of Skittles one day, like, but I cannot stand when it just sits in my kitchen in a giant bowl for weeks on end. So I usually have them pick a certain amount out that they get to keep. What about you guys?
Something similar. I mean, it's not been that big a deal because they've been so little. But Grayson would want to keep everything. So we sort of did the same thing, like except we picked what we knew he liked or would like probably.
Yeah.
And tried to keep like super sticky things out or gummies we try to avoid because they're just worse for your teeth. But overall, yeah, kind of the same.
Those are my kids' favorite, the gummies. But now that Sebastian has braces, he can't really eat them, so that's tricky.
All right, decorations.
Yeah, I think, and I like decorations. I need to start by setting a foundation of decorations. So my mom, to this day, will go down in history as like the most into decorating human that I know. And like when we do a Christmas episode, we're going to talk about Christmas and the amazing decorations my mom used to do. So my mom was super into it and she would always do our house up. And one time, I think it was my dad. She had him sit in a full on bear costume, like a legit bear costume, and sat on our porch on a little chair. And it looked like we had put like a giant stuffed bear out there. And then when they came up to the door to trick or treat, my dad would jump scare them. So I grew up with a lot of decorating and I love decorating. But like I said at the beginning of this episode, now that I'm 30-11, I'm tired. She's tired. And so when we're like, let's decorate, I'm like, yes, but I can't be like the Joneses up the street with the 5. I don't understand, Christopher. These people have to have full on storage.
Yes, they do.
Pods for each holiday.
I know for a fact because I have friends on the street that have
crazy
the storage units for that.
It's nuts. And it looks, I mean, there's one house in our neighborhood that Ruby knows, like they do it for every holiday, every holiday.
That's the clown house for us.
Yes. We don't even have a name. Ruby just calls it like the decoration house, but like the time and energy it has to take to put all of that up and then to run it. Cause a lot of them are those inflatables, the big giant inflatables, like, man. Now it makes for a fun walk. Like when we walk the dog or like at Christmas time when we drive by there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle. And then I feel bad for their neighbors. Because what are you going to do? Like, you can't be like the Lopez house down the street, like medium decorations. If you have crazy people with like full decorations and you're their neighbor, you got to quit. You got to quit the whole play. You can't, like, what are you going to do?
Well,
right?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, our street's a little bit weird because we have like just a few houses because it's such a big street that really go all out. And then the rest are all either like pretty much nothing or just a little bit, like a string of lights on the roof line. Do
you have decorations up?
We do not, for Halloween, have any decorations up outside. We decorate inside a little bit.
So we have minimal.
We have witches hanging from our banister.
That's cute. Inside I do like a little bit. I always have, our house is small, so there's not a lot of place to like decorate. So we have certain areas inside the house that always have like a seasonal decoration. But outside, my kids love to put up the graveyard. So we have like the little graveyard signs that they stick. And then we have the skeleton that lays down in the ground. And then we have like 2 guys that we hang and a big spider. And that's it. Like, which I think is amazing until you walk up the street and it's Disneyland Halloween status. And you're just
but
like,
that is amazing. That's great. That's great. You win.
Oh, man. All right, what about costumes? We should talk about costumes.
Okay, so costumes, I am like, they're not my favorite. I don't love dressing up. I part of it is the time and energy to figure out how to do a costume or that. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
no. Like if someone said, here is a costume, wear it, I'll be like, I'm down. But it's the whole process that I'm like, no, thank you.
It's the planning for sure. I think when kids are younger, again, I grew up with a mom who would like hand make costumes.
Yeah.
She like when Emma, my stepdaughter, wanted to be Minnie Mouse one year, my mom from scratch handmade this gorgeous Minnie Mouse dress. She did the same thing for Ruby when Ruby wanted to be Dorothy. I'm like, I can't, dude. I cannot do that. I'm like Amazon Dorothy. And
Yeah.
then Ruby's over here with this like gorgeous, adorable, like custom made Dorothy dress. I love it. I'm just not that person.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way where like I actually liked dressing up once it's done, but like the planning phases of it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have the time and energy for it. I just need someone to like do it for me.
Yeah, I think it's just
I don't know.
too much work for the outcome. Like I don't love it enough to go through the hassle. It's not like if I loved it in the end, I don't know.
Yes. I don't when I look back at pictures, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was so worth it. Like I said, our Ninja Turtles Halloween,
Yeah.
when Jerry and I were Jack Skellington and Sally, and I spent like, doing my makeup
Yeah.
and getting the wig and stuff. And last year, at school when we were icons and I dressed up like Cher. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I had to find those pieces and put it together and it's like, once it's done, you're like, oh yeah, like this is awesome. We look good, but it is the process of it. That's like, ugh.
Yeah.
And people do multiple costumes.
I know.
Like last year I had to have I got to have a family costume and then 2 family costumes, one to go with Ruby, Oogie Boogie Night, one to be with Jerry on Halloween. Then I was Cher at school. And then we were the Sanderson sisters for a party. Like that's 4 Halloween costumes. Who am I?
Too much.
What am I doing?
I do love the Sanderson sisters though.
Or
Anderson, whatever.
I know, right? I feel like
can't
it's going to have to
say
make
it right.
Sanderson. Yeah.
Okay, great.
You're right.
I was second guessing myself.
So what about kids' costumes? I have to make a deadline. Actually, now Sebastian has outgrown it, but I had to make a deadline because they keep changing their minds. Does that happen with your kids?
They haven't really asked for costumes. I don't even remember what they were last year. I think Amelia was Minnie Mouse but I can't even remember what Grayson was. I do remember a couple of years ago when we went, let's see, I was Christopher Robin. Grayson was
Ew.
Winnie the Pooh because we had a little Pooh outfit for him. And Joy was a honey pot. Like the honey pot.
That's cute. That's
Yeah.
cute. See, you did it. You did the
We
family
did.
one, and now it's like we checked that box.
Right. But we haven't even thought about it this year, to be honest. I don't know what we're doing.
Well, and your kids, I don't know, man. Especially Sebastian, it was like, I want to be Batman. No, I want to be a ninja. No, I want to be Lego guy. I want to be this. I want to be that. Like, it would change so often. So the one year I remember in particular was when they really got into the Lego movie, when the Lego movie came out. Have you seen the Lego movie?
I actually have not.
It's really cute, but he wanted to be the main Lego guy, Emmett.
Mhm.
And Emma, his older sister, was like, cool, I'll be Wild Style, which is the other Lego. Well, I was trying to channel my own mom's, creativity. And I'm like, we'll custom make their costumes. Charnopher. What?
Mm-mm.
We spent hours. They turned out so good. I hand
good.
painted. We made a cardboard box to make them look like Legos. We hand painted them. Sebastian would not wear it. He was 3. And he was like, I don't want to wear it. And I was like, kid, I hand painted this Lego box for you. Put it on your Halloween body now. And I got one picture of it like haphazardly on his body. And then that was it. He didn't want to wear it the rest of the night. And I was like, really? Great. From here on out, man. But then he like was into superheroes and all that kind of stuff. And Ruby, like, Ruby likes to get dressed up. It's fun for them. She likes
Yeah,
it.
I think the other thing that trips me up with it is just like it costs so much money to get costumes. I'm like, how much for
Yeah.
that costume?
Okay. So anybody who's listening, any Charno fan who wants to start a small business, this is what I think. Christopher, you make such a good point. In our garage, we cleaned out our garage over like towards the end of summer. We have tubs and tubs and tubs of Halloween costumes that have been worn one time.
Right.
Someone needs to figure out like a way to, like, you'll buy it off of somebody and then have like a resale Halloween shop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like my kid was Pokemon. He wasn't. But my kid was Lightning McQueen for 1 year.
Yeah.
That costume was worn 1 year. Now another person can use this Lightning McQueen, Ninja. I mean, all these costumes, Batman, Darth Vader. Oh, 1 year we did Star Wars. Like, there's got to be a business in that, like a resale Halloween moment, because you're absolutely right. It is expensive for a one night deal.
Yeah.
Even if you go to a couple parties, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then they're bad quality.
So you don't have a costume yet this year, is what
No.
you're telling me?
No.
Yeah. So when you go trick-or-treating, though, you have to dress up. What are you
I
going to wear?
know. Well, I send the children up, so I don't have to dress up. I'll stand on the sidewalk, and the children will go to the
Christopher?
door.
You should get a shirt. I'm going to get you a shirt that said, "This is my Halloween costume."
Great.
You're that person. You're Grumpy Gus from down the road who doesn't participate but eats the candy.
We should just get me a shirt that says Grumpy Gus, like says all of that. I am Grumpy Gus that
Yeah.
doesn't participate.
This
but
is
just
my
eats the
Halloween
candy.
costume. I'm Grumpy Gus from down the road. Just give me candy. Bye. See ya. Listen to my podcast on the back. On the back of your shirt, it says, "Listen to my podcast."
Uncommonpod.com.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
spit out
Well,
my
this
coffee.
year again, Sebastian's like, I don't know. I'll find something. He'll probably end up like wearing a mask and pulling a cape out of the garage. I don't know. But Ruby, she was really insistent. She wants to be Galinda, and she wants me to be Elphaba. Not Glinda and the Wicked Witch. She wants to be like from
Yes.
Wicked.
Yes.
I know. So I'm kind of excited about that. I think it'll be fun.
Are you ready to do all that green makeup?
Cute. Yeah, I think so. I got I found really cool gloves that are like sheer. So
Okay.
they won't be super hot. So my hands will be green, and then I'll do the makeup. Yeah, I ordered some online that won't be too bad. I mean, I've done Sally makeup a few years in a row where you have to kind of almost be white, and then the eyes and all the like stitches and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind doing it. Check back with me the day after when I have green in my ears, and,
Right.
and we'll see how I feel about it then. Or when my
Right.
eyebrows look green for 3 weeks.
Yes, correct.
We'll see.
Well, when I
I
see
think-
you
I
after
think it
you
will be
do
fun.
that, I'm going to require you to sing Defying Gravity every time I see you. Just letting you know.
Oh, can I sing the tenor version of it? Is there a tenor version
There is
for
not.
Alpha Basharna?
No,
Christopher, can you write that
Shanaba.
for me, please?
I mean, I can
Can you
transpose
please?
it for you. Yes.
Sharnaba's
them.
version.
Tell
Wait.
them how
Come on.
I'm defying gravity.
Stop. It doesn't have to be that low. I'm flying high. What? Defying gravity. Come on, Christopher. I could sing it up like here.
Oh, yeah.
Just
you
not
could
up
do-
there.
Right. I got you. But you're a
my
tenor, so it's
gosh.
cool.
Well, Ruby and I told her I would record What Is This Feeling with
Okay.
her. We do that duet in the car.
Yeah.
So when we're in costume, we're going to have to record it. It's not going to be fabulous, but it's going to be a memory.
But it's going to be great.
Okay. So it'll be for the archives.
Yeah.
No one's actually going to see that, but it's gonna
I'm
be
just
fun.
letting you know right now, I'm going to demand
I'm
to
pumped
see
up
that.
about it. Oh, you can see it.
Okay.
It's just not going to go, as Sebastian said, please don't post that. Please don't post that. I'm like, I won't post that
Oh,
if you don't want me
gosh.
to post that. What about parties, Halloween parties? Have you, like, I know you have younger kids right now, but like, have you, no, it's not a thing for you.
No.
He's shaking his head.
When I was in college, I would do Halloween parties. I would like go to Halloween parties and stuff. But since then, I'm like, I don't host them. I don't really know anybody that throws them particularly. I haven't really been invited to any Halloween parties, so no.
So I'm kind of the same. We used to do a lot of Halloween parties, college, but even like in my 20s, we had a group of friends who were really into it. We don't throw a Halloween party. Like Halloween itself is kind of just like, come to the house, we'll have pizza. Whoever wants to come trick or treating, because like our neighborhood is like such a
Hmm.
big party. I do trip out on people who throw like giant parties. Like there are people who really love Halloween,
I
like
know.
really love it. And hey, more power to them. I'll join your party. I'll go to your party, but it's a lot of work.
Depends if there's
What
food.
about haunted houses or Not Scary Farm or those kind of
Okay,
things?
so I love that shenanigans. I've never been to Not Scary
Okay.
Farm, but I have definitely done
Ever?
numerous. No. But I have definitely done numerous haunted houses, and there was one that I went to in San Diego years ago that I was like, that might be even a bit much for me. And that's saying something because I love that
Really?
shenanigans. Yeah, I left there. I
Was it in
like,
a hotel? There's a really
kind of.
scary one in a hotel.
I
in
think
San
there
Diego.
is. Yeah, I think it was in a hotel. It was
Yeah.
in downtown somewhere. But I was like, wow,
Ooh.
that one got me. I was like, that was, yeah, okay. I'm good.
And I feel like it's just become more and more and more, right? So when we were younger, I remember a very clear memory going through a haunted house at my school that I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Because it was one of those where you had to push your way
Yep.
through the stuff. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like there
Uh-huh.
wasn't a clear path.
Yes.
And I remember like pushing through it and then being like really proud of myself when I got out on the other end. I also remember one haunted house. My older sister was Peter Pan. And the only reason I remember that is because her hat fell off in the haunted house in the maze. And she's like, we have to go back and get it. I'm like, I am not going back in there. Peter
You
Pan
can.
hat can die with the scary clown. Like I'm not
Yes.
going back in.
Yeah.
And they have one in our neighborhood every year. And something that's new, at least to me, that I really loved, they set up this crazy, I can't believe they set it up like in their driveway. I mean, it's got like walls.
We
and
have the
everything,
same thing.
And it's crazy and super good. So
Yeah.
finally, last year was the first year Sebastian was like, I want to do it. Or maybe the year before. And I'm like, cool. So we go up, I take him through it, jump scares, all
Yeah.
sorts of cool stuff. Like they did a really good job. I thought it was like a legit haunted house, like just enough. So of course, Ruby, my scaredy cat McGee, was like, well, I want to do it. I'm like, Rue, you are going to be terrified. The lady at the front was like, take this. And she gave me a little glow stick.
Okay.
And she's like, hold it out in front of you and just say, no scare, no scare, as you walk through
Oh,
the
that's
haunted house.
cool.
When you say that, they smile and wave at you. Like, hi, do you want a candy? I was like, I'm obsessed with this idea.
I love
Because
that.
it's true. Like some kids want to experience it, but they don't want to be traumatized for the
Yeah.
rest of their life. So you'll hear like screaming
Yeah.
in the room, like they're scaring the group in front of you. But then you come around, you're like, no scare, no scare. And they're like, oh, hi, happy Halloween. And you see that they're just like a person.
Oh,
it was
that's
really cool.
cute.
I thought
I
it was
love
really cool.
that.
Yeah. To have an option so everyone can participate. And they just gave a little glow stick. And then when you came out, they took the glow stick back
Yeah.
so they could like give it to the next
Yeah.
person or whatever. But I don't know. I liked that. I think now Ruby would be fine with it, but
Hmm.
I don't know. The jump scaring,
Yeah.
I think that's what I did not like about Not Scary Farm was all the jump scaring. I like scary stuff. I used to like scary movies.
Used to?
But jump scaring gets me. Yeah. I mean, I'll still watch a scary movie, but I think it's again, as you get older, if I'm going to spend 2 hours doing something,
Yeah.
it's not going to be watching a scary movie. I'd rather watch a different kind of movie.
What about, what is
But
your,
scary movies.
what's your favorite scary movie?
Okay. So this is what I said in the beginning. I was going to talk about Mike Myers. My favorite scary movie. I really liked the I Know What You Did Last Summer movies. I think
Yeah.
because of my age. When those came out,
Yeah.
we were in high school.
Yeah.
Or like late middle school, high school. Yeah. So I think I'm putting it as like the 8 and Scream. I Know What You Did Last
That's
Summer
my
and Scream.
favorite.
Those came Yeah.
Scream's my
So
favorite.
those, and I think that's because of our age, right?
Probably.
Because they came out when like we were all super into scary movies. I have a very bad experience. I had a very bad experience with the Halloween movies.
Oh,
So
no.
I remember this very clearly. And I don't know my exact age, and maybe my mom will know it. I want to say I was probably like 9 or 10. And I can remember very clearly sitting on the couch, and I don't know if I was with my mom or a babysitter. I don't remember, but I was on the couch and we were clicking through old school on the TV, right? Trying to watch stuff. And there was ice skating, like
Great.
competitive ice skating, or the movie Halloween. Oh, Winston's saying hello, friends. Or the movie Halloween. And I just remember being like, no, I want to watch that. You know, as a little kid where you're like, I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be scared. I legitimately, I'm not joking. I had full on nightmares.
Of course.
Like bad for like
Yes.
almost a year.
Wow.
Where I thought Mike Myers was going to come through my bedroom window every night. I still to this day remember laying in my bed, and I would be like, think of happy things, Disneyland, ice cream. And I would like have to put myself to sleep, like thinking about positive thoughts, because I cannot unsee him in that ambulance sticking his knife finger things through that lady's eyes. Like he had put, so I think it's in Halloween 3.
Okay.
When he's dead in the ambulance.
You mean like when he's dead in every movie?
Yes. But then they're in the ambulance and he like comes out of the sheet and like puts his hands up in the EMT's like face and like gouge. I could not. And I think why that movie scares me more than any other movie is that I would then go trick or treating and people would be dressed like him.
Yes.
And it's like, oh no. No. Like it's one thing when you're like, oh, I'm at this old farm and this guy with a chainsaw is coming at me and I run right into where he's standing. Okay, that's different than guy walking around on Halloween dressed up in a Halloween costume who is going to kill people. I was completely terrified. Like,
oh, man.
I cannot. And that music every time, it's triggering. Ding, 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 ding. I'm like,
sorry, I guess I started that
Disneyland,
today.
Ice cream. Holy moly. Now, clearly, I'm a grown adult now and I could watch it. And I actually think I actually really like Jamie Lee Curtis.
I love that. I love her.
But dude, that one got me. That one really got me.
What's your favorite
that movie.
Halloween movie? Like of the series? I haven't seen all of them, but.
Oh, I don't even remember because after the first one, I was like, I don't want to watch anymore. But I can recall the one where he's in like that. There's one where she's in a closet. And I remember her trying to get out of that closet.
That's the original.
That image is in my brain forever.
Yep.
And then the one where he's in the ambulance. I think that's 3.
Okay. I feel like that one's not even really part of the original thing. Anyway, I actually like H2O, 20 Years Later. It's not like the greatest one, but I enjoy it.
Oh, H2O. That's actually like a fun name.
Yeah.
I'm not. I didn't like invest my time in all of those anymore. And I used to like what's the one the scary, it's not actually a Halloween movie, I guess, but it's just a scary movie where she like comes out of the TV.
Oh, no, not Poltergeist. The Ring? Was it The Ring?
Yeah, The Ring.
I never got scared by those things. They weren't scary to me. I'm like, meh.
No, I hated it. And then like Saw, I remember a guy I dated once. He was super into scary movies.
Can we talk about Saw for a minute?
Yeah. Ooh.
Saw. I love Saw. I love the original Saw.
What is wrong with you?
The original Saw, I love.
The way you just said that, you need to go back and listen to that. Saw? I love Saw. That's a problem. That is an actual problem.
I just went and saw the new Saw movie like last week. Which was good.
What?
So the original, I think what I loved about the original Saw, have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay.
And Saw 2.
Okay. So they just went downhill. But I think what I loved so much about it is the psychological thriller aspect of it and the big twist at the end, which I'm not going to reveal if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just felt like it was a new idea. It was like an interesting and new, clever idea. So I didn't just love it for the gore and everything else.
Right.
Just the concept of it, I really liked.
I can appreciate that.
So
what about It?
So scary clowns, it's just not a thing for me. I'm like, why are people scared of clowns? I get that that's a real phobia. This is the month of scary things. But,
but I'm not scared of clowns either. I actually think clowns are funny.
Yeah, and like, so even watching, and I watched the new It, which I kind of liked, but it just doesn't like terrify me like some things. I never got into Jason either, like the Friday the 13th series.
I've never seen those. Mm-mm.
I watched one and I was like, fine. I do kind of like Freddy Krueger, but it's not my favorite.
Jason's the one with the chainsaw. Freddy Krueger's the one with the hands.
The knife fingers.
Hands, yeah.
That comes from your dreams.
No.
Yes.
See? Oh my gosh. I used to love scary movies and now I'm like, hard pass. I don't know. Oof. We're like at time for this episode. See,
That's true.
Halloween, you could talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope
I will say,
oh, go ahead.
No, that was a great transition to the end, and I interrupted you. Go ahead, Christopher.
Interrupting Charna.
Who likes the movie Saw?
To clarify, I said I love the movie Saw. But
and you said it with severe passion in your voice. That's why it freaked me out.
I will go back and listen.
It's like saying, I love dogs or I love chocolate. You're like, I love Saw. That is freaking me out.
Okay, well, I love dogs.
I think our reel should be jump scares. We should jump scare people, just like in the hallway.
I can't even talk.
We're so going to do it.
Great. I'm excited. So anyway, I hope you all have a fun and safe Halloween tomorrow. And like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Charnopher Official. Check out uncommonpod.com. And on that note, Charnopher
out. And then you got to put the Halloween music in. Ding, 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 ding.
I will throw that in.
You know, one of my kids is going to try and learn that on the piano. And I'm going to be like,
I'll teach it to them. It's so easy.
And then I just see Mike Myers' face in my window. Absolutely not. I was traumatized.
This concludes another episode of Uncommon Sense. If you're ready for more of this fresh, hilarious, and unique perspective on the world of entertainment, education, and life, be sure to subscribe right now to catch every episode. If you gasped, laughed out loud, or even snorted, share the show with your friends and aspiring entertainers because, let's be real, sharing is caring. For more Charnopher, tune in to their witty insights by checking out the website uncommonpod.com or connecting on social media. Tune in next week and get the real insider scoop on another episode of Uncommon Sense.